Good morning, everyone, and welcome to North Toowoomba Bowling Club, where we've got an absolute feast of bowls for you for the next 6 days, which is the Bowls Queensland Champion of Champions, where all the zone winners come off and play off to see who is the champion zone within their Queensland region. And this morning, we're running a little bit late this morning. We've had a few technical issues and a bit of traffic on the way here, but it's a pleasure to bring you the game this morning between the Albert Club, which is representing the Fraser Coast, and the Longreach Club, which is representing the Leichhardt zone. So we've got some great matchups here, and of course with me this morning is none other than the man himself, Gary Thomas. G'day, Gary.
Yes, good morning, Brian. It's a pleasure to be here, folks, to join you, and hopefully we can bring you 6 days of what we believe are going to be fantastic bowls to be played. We've been gifted with tremendous weather. There's not a cloud in the sky and hardly a breeze to speak of, Brian.
Absolutely beautiful, mate. No, it's absolutely superb. The conditions up here, absolutely beautiful, mate. Green running absolutely magnificently. Gary, it'd be running a good 15 and a half, 16 seconds, which is very good for this time of the morning. Players are very complimentary of the surface they're playing upon. And you might be able to just give us a quick rundown, Gary, on the players that are representing their respective zones, mate.
Okay, Brian, the game we're into at the moment, it's 21 ends. The Longreach team of 15, and from the Albert of 20, as you can see on your scoreboard there. Now, the guys that are representing their districts for the Albert, who were in front, from the Fraser Coast, is Kosta, Ladas, Steve Mandaloff, Brad Mitchell and Peter Worth, who is the skip, and they're playing the guys from Longreach. Ian Cameron is the lead, Dave Ramage, Ty Jesberg and Ray Harmsworth, who's fairly well known.
Certainly is, Gary. I take my hat off to Ray on his travelling for the last few months. By God, he's travelled a hell of a lot of miles, mate, from Longreach back to Lightning Ridge, down to Brisbane, mate. You name it, he's played in. And of course, young Ty had just come back from a very successful stint down in Ballarat with the Queensland under-18 squad, yes, Gary, and they did superbly well down there. So
they sure did, and Ray, I understand, was also representing his district in the mixed pairs.
That's correct.
State mixed pairs.
So he was also at Rockhampton, my friend.
Rockhampton. Yes, this bloke's been all around the world.
He has, mate. He has. Not many days neither, Gary. So.
And he's acquitting himself extremely well. His team are just slightly down at the moment. I think there's still a few ends to go. I can't quite see.
Yes, no, this is this 15th end, I think, by the looks of things, mate. And you can see the lead there just cut his grass slightly, a little bit underweight. So head wide open. It's just amazing when we come on air, because the heads prior to this have been absolutely incredible.
Sure,
and the moment we put them on air, the leads have sprayed a couple. But as I said, ladies and gentlemen, the green running absolutely beautiful here this morning, drawing magnificently both hands. So it's absolutely a pleasure to watch. There's quite a good crowd building up here already. There's a lot of people here coming in to watch it, so it's good to have everybody on board. And Fiona Hall, of course, Fee loves her bowls. G'day, Fee, how are you? G'day, Warren and Pat. G'day, Cher, watching from California. Good to have you on board. Deanne Robinson, of course, she's a year older these days too, you know, Gary.
Yes, I understand she is.
Yeah, I tell you what. Yeah.
I think she just turned 37.
Is that right? Yeah. Gee whiz, you're being very kind, mate, I'm telling you. Well, happy birthday for the other day, Dee. It's great to have you on board.
Happy birthday, Diesel.
And Cheryl and Lynn. And g'day, Pat, how are you? So I hope you're enjoying the telecast. I said we're here for the next 6 days. Of course, today and tomorrow we've got the ladies and men's fours. And Monday and Tuesday we've got the pairs, and Wednesday and Thursday we've got the singles. And some of the matchups, Gary, are just absolutely incredible, aren't they?
Well, there's nobody here that you wouldn't consider a good player, is there?
No, that's for sure.
In order to get to this level, because most folks would understand, but some of you may not, that this starts at club level.
That's correct.
And you win your club championship in singles, pairs and fours. You then have to progress to beat the other champions in your district.
Yes.
Then you go to your zone playoffs. Some of the zones have got 3 clubs.
Three zones. Three zones, that's correct, yes. Some have got 2.
Some have got 2. So there's actually 20 districts in Queensland, right throughout the state, which are down to 8 zones, and they get divided into 2 groups of 4. They play a round robin, and the 2 group winners will then play up for the final.
No, absolutely. As you said, Gary, it started a long time ago, and these people have been playing great bowls for over quite a few months, mate, to get this far.
Well,
it's just an absolute pleasure on behalf of Bowls Queensland, their initiative. With, of course, wonderful sponsorship from the Toowoomba region, the council up here. Thank them very, very much. And great initiative by Bowls Queensland to showcase this absolutely wonderful event, Gary.
Yeah, and as you said, Ryan, quite often these folks in any of the disciplines have actually won their club championship way back in probably January, February,
Yes,
March
that's correct.
or something.
Yes.
So then by the time they get to this stage, they've really had to hold their form for a period of nearly 8 months, haven't they?
That's correct, mate.
It's not like a 3-day tournament where you're on fire, is
No,
it?
that's for sure, mate.
You've got to be electric for 8 months to get here.
And particularly at this level too, you know, it's been absolutely fantastic, mate. You know, g'day, Mark. How are you, mate? It's great to have you on board. Yeah, I think you've been interested in Killer's Rink, mate. They're standing in front of the board at the moment, Mark. I'll try and bring you an update score very shortly. I can let you know, though, at the moment, the Tweed Heads rink is up to the Dalby rink is 30-6. And besides that, they're all standing in front of the board, so we can't really do much for you there, but we'll get it to you as fast as we can.
But try and bring you scores as best as you can.
Yeah, we'll bring them down here the best we can. So.
Yep.
All good.
Lenny Japray's watching from Adelaide, and welcome aboard, Lenny. And all I can tell you is that your husband is playing beautiful bowls.
Yes, that's for sure. It's great to have Bernadette on board, and of course Lynn having a nice, well-deserved holiday. Can't bring you the score yet, Mark. I know you'd be interested in that one, mate, but I just can't see it there. 6 of the players all standing in front of the board at the moment, Mark, but I'll get it to you as soon as I can, mate. So, but there's been some magnificent bowls played here this morning. The wind's just starting to get up a little bit now. They'll be swinging the green around later on for the next game. The next game we'll let you know prior to us going off air who will be telecasting. We're in the hands of the Queensland Match Committee, who do a superb job.
We'll be doing, we do know one thing, that we will be doing a ladies match
this afternoon.
This is all the men here on the green we're looking at now.
Yep.
The ladies are on the green immediately behind us. Yep. They'll be moving out here for this afternoon's second round.
Yep. Well, Grinder just played a great bowl there by the sounds of things.
Yep, I think.
And mate, we've even got Ryan Bester on board, seeing how you're commentating this morning, Gary. So
Rhino. Good morning, Rhino.
And of course,
Julie Allen's here, but she's keeping an eye on Robbie.
Yeah, Julie. G'day, Jules. You got no idea, Julie. They come out this morning with this wonderful host club, North Toowoomba, and they've done an absolute superb job. And they come out with a tray of about 40 pies on it. You should have seen Robbie's eyes light up, Jules. I'm telling you.
It was like Christmas.
It's like Christmas.
Like a Christmas tree,
wasn't it, mate? It didn't need any lights on it, I'm telling you.
Now, we haven't had an update to the score at this stage, but
I can let you know that Bagara is 19 and Enoggera, representing the Brisbane district, is 15.
Okay.
It's because the people just moved away from that scoreboard, Gary.
Well, that's the 2 Nicks playing, isn't it? It's Nick Gosley and Nick Carl.
Nick Carl, yes.
Yeah,
two wonderful
two hotshot young kids. And very nice boys they are too.
Now, if Killer gets out of the way for a sec, okay, Mark, I can tell you the score now, mate. I can nearly see the board. So, I've never seen Killer move so quickly there, Mark. I'm telling you, mate, he jumped.
we can
let you know it's 19-16 in favour of Justin Cribben's team from Townsville.
Yes, and the Gold Coast boys, Max Japray, Calvin Kergow, Kurt Brown and Wayne Turley,
yes,
are on rink 3. They're playing the boys from Dalby, representing Condamine District, John Savage, Stephen Savage, Joel Smith and Robert Hammond.
Of course, Grinder, very well named, one of our very reputable players from the Coal Mine District, and a very strong team that too, really, Gary. And, but I must admit they've come up against a pretty red-hot team. I think anybody that really has Kelvin Kirko playing too for them.
Oh, well, it just doesn't happen, does it?
He's like the boys are playing great bowls, but some of the heads on that rink, as on all the rinks, and I have to credit to the players. They're playing such magnificent touch bowls on a magnificent green, and if anyone's within the Toowoomba region, I see there's quite a few people coming on board, and I'll tell you what, you want to get yourself down to North Toowoomba Bowls Club, because the bowls are just absolutely incredible. There's a good crowd here, and they tell me they've got nice cold beer inside and everything too.
Well, I have heard that. There was a whisper going
around. I've heard they got cold beer inside, mate.
Just to reiterate, we didn't give you the score, the Gold Coast, and everyone's sort of standing in our direction.
Yeah, so that's an update on the boards anyway.
The Gold Coast fellas are in front, that's all I can tell you.
Yeah, they're a little bit in front.
I think they have a fairly handy lead.
The quality of bowls here this morning, though, as we've been setting up and everything, and been absolutely marvellous. It's been absolutely superb.
Cheryl Hutchinson's watching. Hi, Shez. I didn't know whether we mentioned you. We mentioned Diesel and Brian Stewart. Of course, well, he'd be watching, wouldn't he?
David Baker, Mr. Baker, how are you, my friend? And Rhonda Holmes, how are you, Rhonda? How's my mate Bob? So, all going very well here at the moment, courtesy of course, Robbie Allen, who's been away playing bowls and had a very good series in the over 60s, and
sure did.
He's done a great job here this morning getting us on air with these quality pitches, Gary, because I tell you what, mate, those pitches absolutely, they're as clear as anything, and you can see the green there is absolutely, it's in magnificent condition.
Well, the man, the myth, the legend.
The legend continues.
He got us up and running.
But
and not only that, but he was named man of the series in the over 60s down there at Ettalong.
Yes.
Hey?
Yes.
What sort of an accolade is that?
Well, I think the hardest part from what he was telling me was not having his nana nap in the afternoons, mate. Hey?
Well, they didn't have any pies.
He didn't have any pies for lunch, mate. He ate a amount of pies, I told Gary.
They went out one night to a Chinese restaurant and he ordered a pie.
Big chunky steak at that too,
mate. The Chinese bloke just looked at him.
Said
he walked away.
Sweet and sour pie.
Anyway, back to the game here that we got. Longreach. Boys, 15, you can see that.
Albert's on 23 now. They've just won the last game.
Okay, 15, 23.
Ray, of course, is just calling, looks like Ty on a shot here. So
no, that's Peter.
Is it?
Yeah, Peter's wearing a white shirt.
Okay.
Peter Worth. And he's spread eagled a few things there.
No, that was young Ty.
No, well, that's right.
Yeah, it's young Ty there. He's bowl there.
That's his third. And they're related, aren't they?
I'm not too sure, mate. I'm not 100% sure.
I think Ty's...
Not 100% sure on that one.
I have no idea they could be related.
But see the... which is quite unusual that I think, as you can see on the rink next to you can see Grinder's rink, the mat's right up on the basically minimum length. So...
yeah.
Trying it out because, as I said, the green's running absolutely magnificently here. It was heavy dew this morning, of course, Gary, but there's a bit of breeze in that round, and a huge credit to the green staff here. Both greens are running absolutely magnificently. So, as you can see, the head there's a little bit open for them, but as I said, the heads prior to this have been absolutely magnificent, as we have Christine Mousey on board.
Yeah.
So,
Morning,
Chris. That's Christine or that's Gary Mousey sneaking on that, mate.
I think he snuck in there, don't you?
Using up Christine's data, mate. That's what he's doing. Using up Christine's data, mate.
Good on you, Gaz.
Go on, Gaz.
Yeah. Now, share it around, folks.
Share it as many times as we can. Let's get it out there to as many people as we can to see these great champions in action, because as Gary's just said to you previously, like these gentlemen and ladies started their campaign quite a few months ago at club level, and they've won through all their club matches. They've won their district.
They won their district.
And then they won their zone playoff.
Yep.
There you go. Yes, Jason, it's 21 to Bagara and 15 to Enoggera, mate, as we see Kurt Johnson walking to the smoking quarters once again.
Who?
Curdy Johnson from the Enoggera Bowling Club, mate.
Yeah, well, he was the one who invited me to sit down up there. I said, are we allowed to smoke?
Yep.
Okay.
Nice looking bowl here, but it's just gonna sit down.
Ooh,
Beautiful bowl there,
That's a
Gary.
great shot from, that's Ray, isn't it? Yeah.
No. This is Ray now.
No, you got it round the wrong way, I think.
No, this is Ray, mate. From the Leichhardt district, playing for Longreach. Just gonna miss it by the looks of it. No, I had it ball pointed, but just a little bit wide for what he was after. And I've got a funny feeling he could be out of ammo there too. Has he got another bowl down there? So we see the Albert skipper.
Both got the same colour bowls.
That's what's throwing you off here. Yeah. They have both got the same colour bowls, mate. So it's 2 more to the Albert there by the looks of it. So got a nice little handy lead now. We're it was 11 all. It was very, very close all the way through.
Getting to the stage where it's becoming a bit unreachable, isn't it? Because they're running out of ends.
They're running out of ends, yeah. So.
Yeah. But look, if you're in the area, folks, get down here. Yep. There's quite a large crowd here. They're on all sides of the green.
Certainly are.
And
Jake, how are you, mate? You were here before. It's good to see you, mate. If the Dolby boys would get out of the way of the scoreboard, mate, we'd be able to let you know what the score is, Jake. But they love standing in front of the scoreboard, mate.
And Jake just got nominated for the. Tell me about that.
Yes, he
made under 18.
18, yes, for the Trans-Tasman. Fantastic.
Yeah. Congratulations, Jake. You've been a very good young bowler for a number of years now, and things can only get better for you.
That's for sure. Fiona, your friends from Algester are doing very well. On the 18th end, it's Jubilee representing far north Queensland, 19. And Algester, of course, representing the Cunningham district on 18. So just one shot in it, very, very close.
Yeah, the Algester team is Greg Robbie, Jason Crockett, Curtis Black, and Mitch Mears, who's one of our other young up-and-coming stars.
That's absolutely.
From Algester, and they're up against the boys from Jubilee, North Queensland, Gary Phillips, Ross Cribben, Jeff Ryder and Justin Cribben.
Yep, no, absolutely. Got it everywhere you look, Gary, on every rink, you know. I mean, you look over there, you see Max Jeffrey just played 2 bombs. You look over there, and the Albert and Longreach, and both their leads are, pretty handy bowls there.
Oh, he's played bombs all morning, mate.
And
Max.
Then, another good-looking bowl coming in here. He's just going to pick up the kitty, just trailed the kitty. What a beautiful bowl that is. Just trailed the kitty. Might be one down, but gee whiz, it's a wonderful bowl.
It's hard sometimes to sit here and try and concentrate on the one game. We've got 4 matches going on.
It is, isn't it?
And but the loving bowls as we do, we want to try.
We are watching all 4.
Try and give you a report on everything.
So see another nice looking delivery here. Skip's a little bit interested in it. No, just going to cut his grass here slightly. His weight's not too bad. Weight's not too bad at all there, Gary. Just his
Steve, was it? Playing second?
Playing second, yes.
Steve Mandaloff. Now we have, who have we got there? Dave, is it Dave Ramage?
Yep. No, that would be, that's the Leichhardt.
Yeah. Yeah, Leichhardt second.
Yep.
Which is Dave Ramage. Now, we've also got a couple of interesting stats for you. We have a husband and wife team, both in the men's and women's 4s.
Have we?
We have indeed. You know who they are.
I don't know. We got 2.
I think there's 2.
2 husband and wives. Yes, now, we have Claire Turley and Wayne Turley.
Wayne Turley's giving the boys, and Claire's playing 3rd, I think, for Chloe Stewart.
Yep.
And last report we had, the Tweed girls were leading 27-4. And the other couple is Adele Pursehouse.
Yes, from Megara.
And Rob Pursehouse. So they're both, I think now Rob's in the 4s.
Yep.
And just let me have a quick look to see where Adele is I know she's here, but I'm just not too sure what.
Well, Nadell just came back with the over 60s, so a very successful stint
Yes.
down at Headalong with the very successful over 60 Queensland women.
Yes, Adele's skipping the Bagara Bundaberg District 4 ladies fours.
Good stuff.
So there's 2 lots of husband and wives here.
Yep.
So that's got to be a feather in the family cap, hasn't it, Brian?
Well, you'd think so, mate, wouldn't you?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
this, mate, I tell you what, you wouldn't want to come up against them in a club
No,
match, would you?
no, mixed pairs.
Mixed pairs
You'd go
competition.
home, wouldn't you?
Mate, you would. Might be enough to drive a man to drink.
Yeah. No.
But we've got some, just going back down here, another good-looking bowl. Oh, just had to get the edge of that. He just missed the edge.
See, these guys are sort of. We're going to have to remind these. I think they've just been.
No, they're right. Yeah, they're no. G'day, Lukey Day. G'day, Cole. How are you? Hey, Kane Nelson. Always good to have you on board, my friend.
Rhonda Holmes.
Rhonda, yeah, Rhonda's there. And, of course, Sean Gympie, one of Toowoomba's finest. I expect to see you down here sometime over the weekend, Sean.
Colin Hayes. He was a racehorse trainer, wasn't he?
Collins, of course, plays from the out of the stable these days of
Yep.
Helensvale, but he's actually a Gundawindi boy, mate.
He
So
horses around a bit, does he?
he horses around a little bit, mate. He's quite a steady bowler himself. He loves the game, just like we all do. So it's a pleasure to be able to bring you this great event, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see from our pictures, you can see the ladies up on the top green. They've got 2 greens here. They've got a beautiful clubhouse and got magnificent facilities. So
And the beer's cold.
So they tell me. But, mate, they really got in the Toowoomba region. Come on down and just see these great champions in action. And really is worth the trip, but particularly if you're nice and close. So,
But this is like if you can't make it today or something's happening, you want to stay home and watch the Cox Plate or something,
yeah,
you've got another 5 days.
yeah.
You can get down here.
G'day, Barbara
be
Green.
here
Good to
too.
have you on board. We see Ty there just calling Ray on a shot here. So good experience for young Ty. As I said, he played in the under-18s just recently, Gary. So, picks up a lot of experience playing in these type of events. So Dewey's bowls the world of good.
Well, there's a lot of quality players here, Brian, and they're from all over the place, aren't
Yes, that's correct, mate. I know Bowls Queensland, we treat this with a lot of respect, and so we got, of course, the CEO, Brett Wilkie, was here this morning taking photographs, and of course we've got selectors here, so there'll be selectors here every day watching these events. So we've got the match committee who do a superb job, Ron Somerville and Jimmy C here, so it's John Fitzpatrick from the umpiring committee, so...
Yep.
Mate, there's brass everywhere.
Oh, mate, they're all here.
There's brass
They're all
everywhere,
here. You've got to be
mate.
on your best behaviour.
Mate, I'll tell you what.
Tell you what, no mucking around here, mate.
Mate,
They'll have you arrested before you know what.
well, you start. Let's see how great
great
looking
chap.
bowl
Look at this
by
head.
Ray. Hey, beautiful head, Gary,
Have
isn't
a
it?
look
You
at
know, mate? Playing magnificent
I don't think
weighted
they
shots.
know who's got shot here. They just pulled one out.
Yep, looks though it's a couple. I'm not too sure, but couldn't see the singles. But definitely the Leichhardt zone represented by Longreach. So. So the next game, as I said, will be starting. They'll have lunch and we'll be on air because we're all set up. We're all ready to go now. And
Yep.
as I said, Gary, we've got 6 absolutely incredible days of lawn bowls to be able to bring you in conditions like this, mate. And gee whiz, mate.
Oh, I don't get sick of it, do you?
No, I'll
Mate?
never get sick of it, mate. That's for sure.
Oh, better than the smack in the face with a hot pudding cloth. isn't
You
it?
got that right, mate.
But, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon, as we mentioned, we'll still be on rink 4, but it will be a ladies' match.
Yes, it will be a ladies.
It'll
Will
be
be
a
done
ladies'
next.
second round match. At
That's
this
correct.
stage, we're in the lap of the gods.
That's correct. What a beautiful first up bowl there. Beautiful lead bowl sitting just a couple of inches in front of the kitty. And great to have Timmy Phillips on board. Of course, Timmy, one of the hard-working officials from the Sunshine Coast. Beautiful looking first bowl. So going to play his backhand down there, Gary. I thought he may have played his forehand there, mate. You'd see a little bit of the kitty
Well-
on the forehand, can't you?
Yeah, we haven't sort of been watching the game closely enough to, because we came in halfway. He might have figured that he's playing that hand most of the time, so he might
Yeah,
have wanted
no.
to.
It's
Stay there.
come to a good home there, a few foot behind the head. So anyway, it's This one here looks like he's got this pretty well pointed once again too. I tell you what,
he's not far away.
He's got kitty. Has he got kitty?
Oh, he got a bit of it.
Got a bit of it. Just open it up a little bit. So.
Well, he did. It's probably a good bad bowl, that isn't it? Really. I've got the same people watching.
Barbara, thank you for those very kind words. It's always a pleasure to have you on board too. Playing a gale down in Sydney. It's beautiful up here, Barbara. There's a little bit of a breeze, but not much. But
no, nothing to upset the players, not of this quality.
Well, I'll tell you what, mate, I've never seen so many water bottles go out once. It's really warm out there in the sun. So
it's certainly not cold, is it?
Absolutely beautiful conditions for bowls. As we see now, the Longreach second just about to deliver his bowl. He's playing his backhand, which is pretty good move. He's just got to beat that jack high bowl just in behind the head. Could be a little bit wide with this one, Gary. Doesn't want to touch it.
No, I think the Longreach boys are holding one with the front bowl on the left, don't you?
Yeah, I think that would probably be shot.
Yeah,
it would be shot.
Well, we're on one of those tricky angles, aren't we?
Peter, no, mate. I've got no idea how the women are going at this stage, mate. They're on the green behind us. Mate, we'll try and get some scores for you if we can, Peter. We'll do the best we can, mate.
Dwayne Carl's watching.
Yep.
He'll be related to Nick, no doubt.
Not too sure. He says, let's go Ty. So he's obviously from the Leichhardt district.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah.
You want a score update, Lynn? Pretty hard, love, because once again we've got the chairman of umpires. We've got 6 blokes standing in front of me, chairman of umpires, and 3 people standing just in front of the scoreboard down the other end. So, unfortunately, at this event, there's how we go. There we go, 32 to 11. Lynn, Tweed heads 32, and the Dolby boys are 11, mate, at this stage, by the looks of it. And Kurt's having a drive.
It's a great shot here played by Dave Ramage.
What a great bowl. Well, that's a beautiful bowl.
Yeah, well, that's changed things around a bit.
Definitely changed it, hasn't it?
That was Steve Mandaloff that played that.
He played a beautiful bowl. He's very unlucky. I mean, he's one down. But, mate, you couldn't have played that any better. He just, that bowl from the lead, mate, just very, very handy home just in behind the head there. And we see another good-looking bowl here too. It's looking very well grasped by the looks of things. How's his weight? It's coming down by Ty. Look at this young Ty, mate.
Oh, that's a
beautiful.
Yep.
That's a crack of a bowl, mate. It's well done. And good to have Bear on board. So that would be Jeffrey, I assume.
I got the same.
Be Chris. G'day, Chrissy. How are you, mate? Your mum and dad are up here, mate. Don't burn the house down while they're away, mate. Got Mr. Thomas and Mr. Allen sitting beside me, mate. So I'm surrounded by Broadbeach here, Chrissy. Whoa, just went through the gap, mate. What a great try that was, eh? Like, I mean, he weight was pretty good for what he was after, Gary. He sat that wing bowl.
Brad Mitchell, he gets either one of those two bowls or the jack. He's got a cracker, isn't he?
Yeah, I tell you what, Ty's played this pretty well too. Maybe just a little bit quick, but he's trying to set his back bowl.
Well, it won't hurt him being back there because I don't think Brad Mitchell's going to be short.
No.
Here he comes. He's got a decent line on this again.
Got a very good line, hasn't he? How's his weight, mate? Just looks to be holding a little bit. Just a little bit too strong. Here it comes. Oh. Well,
he might have got one out.
He might have got one out. Be pretty close.
Might only be one down.
Two skips having a good look at it, that's for sure, mate. G'day, Cole. Good to have you on board, mate. And Jenny. G'day, Jenny. They play 21 ends, Jenny. It's a normal fours game, so we have round 1 this morning, and we have round 2 this afternoon. Round 3 tomorrow morning, and then, of course, in the afternoon, Jenny, the 2 finalists from the 2 sections will play off to see who the champion is. So
Jenny Collett is asking.
Yeah, 21 ends, mate.
21 ends. Carl Douglas Flegler.
Yes, g'day, Carl.
To everyone out on the greens today.
Yeah, mate, it's pretty warm out there, Carl, I tell you.
Fantastic weather, though.
Absolutely beautiful. We see Ray's bowl. He's got this very well grasped. How's his weight, mate? He's got a beautiful line on this. Oh, just pulling up a bit of smoke. Bit unlucky there because he had a beautiful line for what he's after. But very uncharacteristic of Ray to finish that far short, mate. He's normally sniffing around it somewhere. So Delivery there.
Here comes Peter, and we've got our man standing directly.
He's been told, tell you what, he's not far away.
Ducking and weaving, he's like a maypole dancer. He's going up and down. He's like a jack-in-the-box.
Well, jack-in-the-box, mate.
We couldn't see what was happening.
Tell you what, he played a great bowl, though. There's Ray's bowl. He doesn't take long on that, Ray.
He won't be short this time.
No, tell you what, he's got another good long.
No, he's...
Tell you what.
I've mozzed him.
Yeah, gee whiz, he's not happy with that one.
No, he wouldn't be, would you?
Not happy with that one at all, mate. He's shaking his head.
Not only is he short, but he's...
Well, he's not that short. He's about 5'7.5", you know. Hey?
But he's narrow, too. If he had had the right weight, he'd have finished out of the screen.
Well, not everybody can be finely tuned athletes like you and Gary.
No, I understand that.
Or they can be...
Look out, there's Jack in the box. He's down again. He's leaning. He's not leaning hard enough.
Nothing, you got that right. Yeah, 2 good tries there, though, by the skip. But there's great bowls there by the Longreach team. So they've... well, they're going to measure for 2 bowls, looks a bit there.
Well, they would, but I'm not sure.
G'day, Ron. How's Greg Robbie going, mate? I was talking to Greg this morning, Ron. He's got a bit of a crook neck, mate, but he's been playing pretty good bowls here this morning. But the boys from Townsville, mate, from Jubilee, are just in front at this stage to the Algester boys. Playing the last end now, so by the looks of it, so...
Well, they've got to get a maximum count here, haven't they?
Yes, that's right. Hey, Jenny's telling us that she plays in South Australia.
Who?
Jenny's from South Australia, so it's
okay.
good to have you on board from over there. Glad you're enjoying the live stream. You said you got 6 days of it, my friend. You got 6 days of quality bowls of all the champions from all over Queensland playing, so it should be incredible because the format is fours today and tomorrow, and then followed by pairs on Monday and Tuesday, and then the singles on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yep.
And then next Saturday we'll be live streaming the North versus South Challenge from Suburban Club in Townsville.
Mackay.
Townsville. Yep. Trust me, I've got my tickets.
Townsville. Okay.
If I've got a walk from Mackay, I'm going to be tired, Gary.
You will be, mate.
I will be, mate.
You might have to get a bike.
Yes, don't worry, mate. I've always owned Ducatis. And I want one where the footrests go round, mate.
Yeah, that's the one.
But we're seeing some great bowls here this morning, and hope everybody, I said, you got a feast of bowls coming up for the next 6 days, and it's a pleasure to be able to give you a telecast of these great champions on behalf of Bowls Queensland. So for those of you who want an update, well, I can see the scores. I can let you know that Bagara 21 and Nogra 17, Jubilee 24, Algester 18, 25-18, which is on the board, and I cannot see the Tweed Heads board. 30.
Kosta's just drawn
32-14. Kosta's just drawn 2 shots there, mate.
He's drawn 2.
Yeah.
First one round.
He's actually led very well in that game, Gary.
Yeah.
Costa has he's played some great bowls there, so very consistent. You see his grass line just about spot on with all his bowls too, mate. So
well, I'll tell you what.
Look at this for a bowl. That's not going to be far away.
He's played very well, Dave.
Yeah.
This is Dave Ramage.
Yes, he certainly has, mate.
He's bowled very well. Was watching him a bit before we came on air.
Yes. They're trying to, Barbara. It doesn't succeed sometimes, they love. But it's just a pleasure to be able to bring you this great game of ours and get it out so people can see these great players play, isn't it, Gary? It's just it's an absolute pleasure.
Well, that's it, and we've got some super games coming up in not just in the fours too, folks, but in the pairs and the singles later in the week. Lots of the bowlers that I will introduce to you as time goes by. But they're all household names, aren't they? A lot of them.
Well, they are. You know, we've got some great teams in the pairs coming up, as much as we've got some great teams in in the fours and that. Like, I mean, when you got people like when you got people like Kelvin Kirko playing two in a team, Gary, it's normally a pretty strong team, mate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
for sure.
Particularly when you're followed by Kurt Brown and then Wayne Turley.
Oh, mate.
And before you get to chuck yours down, you got Max Jeffrey just chucked two down. So.
Yeah.
But, you know, and once again, too, like, I mean, the boys that played against them this morning from Roma, mate, like, they played really good bowls.
Yeah.
But just the sheer consistency of that contingent, it's...
well, I think that Maxie, like, he just come back from the over 60s
yeah.
down at Edelong. And he's been a quality player for a long time. But the thing about Max is that he just likes to lead.
Well...
He can play in other positions, but he is a specialist lead bowler.
He is a specialist lead bowler, he is too. So we're just watching this down here now as we see the Albert third playing his next bowl.
All right, so we've just finished the game here, right directly in front of us.
And the final score, which again, there's only two people standing on the green and they're both standing in front of the scoreboard.
Rink 2, that's between...
Jubilee from the far north Queensland.
Well, the Algester
24-19 it was to the Jubilee team over the Algester team representing the Cunningham district, Gary.
Right, so what was it? I'll just write that 24 to Jubilee.
Yep, and 19 to Algester. So
okay, the Jubilee team was
Justin Cribben.
Zone 8.
Yep,
yeah,
Justin Cribben.
Gary Phillips, Ross Cribben, Jeff Ryder and Justin Cribben.
Yes.
From Jubilee, North Queensland. They have won 24-19 over the boys from Algester, which is Greg Robbie, Jason Crockett, Curtis Black and Mitch Mears.
Yes.
But all is not done and dusted because they've got two more
games to play.
To go. Yeah.
Now, as we see here, this Ray would be down here, so he's just looking to draw this, I'd say, Gary. He's just got to come around. No, you're right. Just got to come around this. So, tell you what, he's got this pretty well played too, mate, hasn't he? Look at how's his weight coming down absolutely beautifully.
Oh, what a good shot.
Yeah, that's a great bowl by Ray.
That's brilliant.
Fair, beautiful draw shot there. So the green running, the players have got so much confidence drawing either hand, haven't they?
Yep.
All the players are telling me how happy they are, how great the green's running. So,
and I think they're probably a bit quicker now than what they were when they first started.
Oh, I'd say so.
And they're more than likely. Yeah, here's a great shot here.
Look at this for a bowl.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a very good bowl there.
Probably be a bit quicker this afternoon too. I would think, Brian.
Yes, I think so. I see the greenkeeper, of course. Most greenkeepers have multi-skills these days, Gary, and I saw him in there serving drinks behind the bar.
Yeah, well, I noticed that.
Tell you what, Ray's got this pretty well pointed once again, mate. How's his run?
Oh, what a great...
Oh, gee whiz, what a great try, eh?
Nearly, yeah. So, Albert...
Troy, mate, we'll try and get you those updates, but at the moment, I'll just see what I can do for you.
Brian's just he's just going to try and get some scores from the ladies green behind us. Now they're shaking hands here, so they I wasn't too sure what happened on that last end, but anyway, we will give you a complete update of all of the scores, results from both ladies and men for the first round before we switch off to go and have some lunch.
No, we've just got, of course, one of our hard-working Bowls Queensland officials, Gary, just doing a bit of a run round for us with to get the score updates. But
that'd be fantastic.
As we see there, that was the last end.
The final score there?
They're just putting it up now, Gary.
Oh, okay.
So it's on 21 ends. It was 26 to 19.
Albert won 26
to 19.
To 19, okay. And
we see this the last end from the Tweed team playing, of course, the Dolby team of Grinder. And see a great scan there that Robbie's going around the club with. There's people sitting everywhere.
There are.
There's quite a good crowd here. There's a wonderful place, and I said if you're in the Toowoomba region, I would really highly recommend if you can come down here to the North Toowoomba Bowls Club, because there's some wonderful bowls to be played down here in the next 6 days, Gary, isn't there?
There is for sure.
So we're just getting the lady scores now. John's just good enough to get us some updates, which we're very appreciative of. So we can let our viewers out. But it's a very hard, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who haven't been here before. It's very, very hard to see the scores from where we are. We've got a big building in front of us, and the green behind us is actually elevated. So
we're looking at a brick wall.
We're looking at a brick wall. We can only look one way, which is a wonderful outlook. The jacarandas are out in full blossom. So,
okay, so the games, as we've just said, that have been completed. The Jubilee boys beat Algester 24-19.
26-19.
Oh, sorry.
According to the board down there.
No. Algester, Jubilee and Algester.
I beg your pardon.
24-19. The boys from Albert beat Longreach 26-19.
That's correct.
The other 2 games are still going. Can we give an update on Enoggera and Bargara?
Bargara. Pretty hard at the moment.
Yeah, they're in complete control of the scoreboard.
There's 6 people standing in front of the board. They seem to like standing in front of scoreboards.
The Gold Coast Tweed fellows are
in front.
Yeah, they're playing boys from Dalby. Just repeating the names of the people there. From where are we? From Dalby was John Savage, Steve Savage, Joel Smith, and Robert Hammond.
I will ask Troy. I will ask Peter that if he's got any pineapples for sale. He's just about to walk past now, so I'll just ask him, mate.
Bargara and Enoggera. Here we go. I'm not sure. I don't think they've got too many ends to go. Bargara are leading 22-17. As you can see on your screen there. It looks as though they might have played 19 ends. I would imagine this is the 20th end that they're playing.
Hate to tell you this, Troy, but he's all sold out, mate.
And Bargara represented by Jack Davies, Rob Pursehouse, Matt Tonkin and Nick Carl. And they're up against the other Nick Gosley. They're up against Tom Blazic, Kurt Johnson, Ryan Digby and Nick Gosley.
And here we have
Enoggera.
John, of course, the chairman of umpires, has just done a wonderful run round for us.
That's the scores and that's the events.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, wonderful. I'll write those down.
Write those down. So we have...
You want to call them out?
We have Tweed Heads representing the Gold Coast District, of course, are playing West Toowoomba representing the Darling Downs. And there we have Tweed Heads 33, West Toowoomba 11 on 20 ends.
Oh, that's not final.
No, that's not final.
Oh, okay.
And by the looks of it, it's Marlin Coast versus...
It's, let me tell you, on the ladies, it's Chloe Stewart who's skipping the Tweed Heads team.
Yes, that's right, yes.
Against West Toowoomba, did you say?
West Toowoomba, by the looks of that, yes.
Well,
yes.
that's Lorraine Callaghan.
Lorraine Callaghan, okay. And we have Marlin Coast.
We got more. We got sheets of paper here with everything written on it. We've got to make sure we find it. Anyway, look, we'll come back to that because the game has just been completed here with the Tweed Heads fellows. We'll see if we can get you a...
Get an update there.
I'll put the score up. Tweed were in front 34 to 10, is it?
Yep.
34 to 10. And they've just completed the last end. So the Tweed fellows have won. And we need to put the score up.
Yeah, no, they're not going to put the last end up by Elizabeth, mate.
Well, somebody should.
Yep. And we've got...
I think we've got the remaining match for the men in the morning session. We have just one game to be completed. And when we last looked,
I tell you what, mate, all joking aside, Barbara Green knows you pretty well, doesn't she?
Well,
She said, is that old man Gary Thomas commentating with you? Barbie, you've nailed that one, my
Thank
friend.
you very much, Barb. It's lovely to hear from you. Lawn Bowlers Australia introduced us, I think, the website.
I think you were pretty famous on that site, though,
Oh,
Gary.
mate, I get bagged all the time, but at least while they're having a crack at me, they're leaving the wife and kids alone.
You got that right, mate. When the wife and kids are banging you,
No, they're leaving my kids alone.
So we've got some great matchups here today, Gary, I'm telling you. And
now, we've managed to, with Robbie's expertise,
yes,
we managed to swing a little bit of vision around
to the Bagara versus Nogra
and
match.
I think this is it. I think they might have one end to go after this.
And it's 22-17 by the looks of it to the Bagara rink.
Yes, it is, and I can't quite see the number of ends, but I think this is end 20.
Yep. End 20.
So, and Nick, this is the two Nicks skipping against one another. Nick Carl from Bagara and Nick Gosley from Enoggera.
From Enoggera Bowl.
Both very capable young players.
We see Kelvin Kirko doing a quick run in front of us.
Special K's walking past.
Special K's walking past. But Gary, it's just looking at the atmosphere here, and you can see as the rinks are finishing off, they're all hanging around watching the next game. So
they
it's
just moved in that wall. There's a great shot coming in there.
Yeah, beautiful bowl there. Beautiful bowl there. But gee, well, I tell you what, mate, hasn't Nick Cale played some great shots on this rink there? Been able to watch all of the games, so it's been absolutely fantastic being able to see all the games here. That's for sure.
They still haven't updated that last score for the
No, they haven't
Gold
updated
Coast.
that. But there'll be someone be walking past us very shortly. They'll no doubt have the card. So
yeah, well, I'll give you what I've got here. Tweed Heads have won 34-10.
Max.
So I think he's walked past.
Okay, here comes Kurt. Where is he?
Where's Brownie? Brownie will know the final score.
Yep, we'll get hold of him. No cameras, mate.
Where is he?
I could see him.
Okay, now what happened there? They're replaying the end, are they?
They must have killed it.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay. Well, that had to be a kill and a replay. Okay. I'll just go and ask Brownie what the final score was. He's still up there. He's having a smoke.
Hey. Where there? Okay, so we see the Bagara lead rolling, not really three-quarter length there. It's probably around about just over shortish end. So, I'll tell you what, he's let up very, very well too.
34-17 to Tweed.
Final score. They played a bad bowl here. Yeah, he's probably about 4 or 5 foot through the head there. A little bit runny. He said the green's starting to pick up in pace a little bit now as we see Kurt Johnson leading up for this team from Enoggera. Kurt's going to pull up about the same distance short, so not quite the same distance, but anyway. So it's pretty close. Just a few shots in this game, and it looks as though I think they've got 2 ends to play by the looks of it. So still could be any game to be won. So, but, how's that running? How's that tracking? Yeah, just pretty good bowl there. Just pulled up just a foot or so in front of the kiddie. So definitely advantage to Bagara. I see Kurt Johnson just trying to come around this bowl, which it looks as though he's going to succeed. Not a bad bowl there. Not too sure who's got shot. But, That's Rob Pursehouse, just played his bowl. So, Thomas just playing his backhand. He's got to sneak around that front bowl there of Rob's, but just a little bit too much weight there. It's come to a pretty good home at second best backwards. We see Rob just got to correct his. He's only looking about another 6 inches of weight. I tell you what, they're just going to be a little bit wide with this one here, a little bit short. So. We've got Thomas with his next bowl. Playing his forehand. Probably the safer hand to play for. I was a bit surprised he played his backhand with his last one because there's a bit of danger on the run coming in. He's played this pretty well. Oh, just missed the kitty. Probably lucky he did in actual fact because he had a fair bit of weight on it. You would have really sprung that if he'd hit it, but anyway. As we see the Bagara combination, their third. Matt Tonkin. Tell you what, he's played this pretty well. Yep. One shot. Just pumped his short bowl through the head there. So, sprung the kitty just out a tad. So, it's up now to the Brisbane combination from Inogra. Try and sit that bowl through the head. Could be just a little bit wide with this one. His pace is not going to be too bad, believe it or not, but he's just going to be a little bit wide. But it's a very good try, that's for sure. So you have some final results there, Gary.
I've got the final score for the Tweed. I think you might have already said that. Tweed Heads men 34-17 over Dalby.
Yep.
And there's only one of the ladies' matches completed. There's still 3 in progress. But the Gold Coast Tweed girls won 35-18 over West Toowoomba. And to give you the names of the ladies there for the Tweed Heads, it was Kira Burke, Jessica Srishram Rubai. I hope I said that right.
I call it Jessica Alphabet.
Yeah. Claire Turley and Chloe Stewart was the skip.
Yes.
And they had a win over West Toowoomba, Imelda Brumpton, Pauline Handley, Lorraine Zimmerman and Lorraine Callaghan. But losing the first game, Brian, not all is lost.
No, that's for sure, mate. It's definitely in this calibre, anybody can beat anybody, Gary. So you got some great bowlers out here on the green, mate, haven't you?
That's it. And you know, like there's still a few games to be played before we can sort of, make some sort of assessment of who's going to go through.
We see Nick Gosley just playing his forehand down here and just going to be dependent upon his run. He's got a beautiful line for what he's after. Oh, I tell you what, he might be in the count. We saw a beautiful bowl there by Ryan Digby before, who plucked out...
Very capable young player. I've been up against him before, and he can bowl. Don't worry about that.
Who's that, Ryan?
Ryan Digby.
Yeah, he can. He certainly can, mate. But I see a beautiful bowl here by the looks of things by Nick.
Nick. He's just going to slip through.
Oh, gee whiz, he only just missed that, Gary. Gee whiz, that's... these two young champions, mate, like they're both... Nick, of course, still young enough to play in the under-18s.
That's right. Now, is this LR? Can you...
No, they've got another end to play,
I would have
Gary.
thought so,
This
Because this end is being replayed, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
20th.
So I reckon Nick's got another counter there. Be pretty close to it by the looks of it. Be close.
Well, he's taken 2 out.
3 out.
3. This could make it rather interesting.
It might make an interesting last end here, I think, Gary.
Oh, yeah.
So it's Not too sure. Nick's going to be kind enough to put the score up for us, so we'll know what's happening for this very last end. So it's 22-20.
22-20, is it?
To the Bagara combination.
22-20 to Bagara. That was a good pick-up for the Enoggera boys, wasn't it?
Yes, certainly was. There's 3 shots there to the Enoggera boys who are representing the Brisbane district. So very well done. And of course the Bagara boys, of course, are representing the Bundaberg district, mate. So there's got some great young players in this combination, mate. So we've got Kurt Johnson leading off for the Enoggera team. So pretty important with the last end when you're 2 shots behind, Gary, that you can't really drop anything short, can you, mate? You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean,
he started off with a pretty good shot here.
Pretty good bowl.
Yeah.
I think Robbie Allen would have been a lot closer, though, with his first bowl, though. I reckon, you know.
Oh, my God.
That woke him up, didn't it?
Yeah, woke him up. He's kept me up all last night.
We see...
So that's Tom.
Jack Davies just a little bit wide with his bowl, but his weight was pretty good. Kurt continued playing his backhand, playing away.
This is
not a bad bowl by Kurt.
Is this Kurt Johnson leading, is it?
Yes, that's Kurt Johnson leading there, mate. Yes, it is.
Okay, on Tom Blazczyk or
it's
Blazczyk.
Yeah, Thomas is playing too, by the sounds of it. And this
right.
is Jack Davies, about to play his second bowl. Got playing his forehand.
He's looking at it.
He likes it, mate. He's following it. I tell you what, you'd like it too, I reckon, mate.
He's got the run up.
Too far away.
Oh, he's got the run up. He's having a look. Oh, he's got to touch it.
Yeah.
Don't touch him. Might have made 2 here even.
Good bowls here, mate. So it looks as though Nick has been called just to trail the kiddie for 3 shots. That would make it interesting, wouldn't it?
Well, there's only 2 shots in it at the moment.
I think maybe just a little bit. Oh, gee whiz.
Enoggera boys need to win the end at the very least, don't they?
They certainly do, mate.
They play an extra end, or is it just a draw?
No, it's a draw, mate. Yeah. Draw, if it's a draw. 1 shot each, mate.
Just a draw.
Yep.
There's Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good when you've got the umpire sitting beside you.
There's Rob Pursehouse, just left that a bit wide on the left.
Just left it a bit wide, yes, that's for sure. But we've got
Thomas back again.
Yep, playing next bowl.
See what he can do with this one. He's got to take a little more grass than the first one. He's underneath it again from where I'm sitting.
Yep.
He wouldn't be happy with that. Now back to Rob. Rob's staying on his backhand. He's just got to narrow it up a bit to get inside. Oh, and Nick Carl, he's got the seal going up there. He's pulled inside. What's he done?
Oh, he's sitting just inside those bowls.
He beat his first bowl, but not by probably enough.
Yeah, so
then young Ty. Oh, no, it's not Ty. It's
Ryan Digby.
Ryan Digby, of course.
Ryan Digby's
run through. And Matt Tonkin, he looks to be a bit quick from where I'm sitting as well.
Yeah, but he comes back on that line, pretty close to the line. I tell you, it's not going to be a bad bowl there, mate. Because they've got to hit that kiddie absolutely spot on, don't they? I mean, they've got to really middle it. They need 3 shots, mate. So they've got to middle that kiddie and only trail it about 6 inches. So very delicate shot here, mate.
We're on a pretty crook angle here. It's pretty hard to tell who's got the shot.
I tell you one thing, mate. He's not far away with this one.
No, he's got a good shot here. But get the kiddie, just
gee, I don't know what kept it apart there.
The pain.
This is what happens, see? Absolutely unbelievable, mate.
He's only missed it, by a 1/4 of an inch or so.
Yes, no, very, very close, that's for sure.
Ryan Digby.
So Nick, of course, very, very experienced skip, of course, is is just calling for a bit of cover here, Gary.
Now they're looking at this because he's going to contact something, but what is it?
Oh, he just got the wrong side of that bowl, mate. He really needed the inside to break up that little catchment area that they've got there. So that catchment area is still there.
Yep.
But it's got to be played. It's got to play the perfect bowl.
I'm just not 100% sure who's holding shot. They haven't indicated, and we're sort of a little bit off.
We're a little bit off. Yeah, I assume it would probably be the Bagara team.
Well, it could well be. Now, Nick Gosley has played his forehand. He appears to be a little bit quick to make any real difference to the head.
Well, he's definitely got options there now, hasn't he? James, I really wouldn't want Robbie to read that, mate, so we won't say it out loud because he's not looking at us at the moment. Yeah, he did go right down there, mate, but we just don't mention it to him,
Oh,
mate.
well, you can't. I mean,
You know, mate, like Gary Thomas, my co-commentator here, like Gary stayed at Robbie's place last night, and he reckons all he heard all night was Robbie's medals ringing around his neck.
no, I mean, everywhere you look at his house, there's bleeding trophies.
Trophies everywhere.
Sitting on top of cupboards.
Had they?
Oh, mate. He's got stuff everywhere.
Has he?
Now,
As we see now, there's a big bowl here by Nick. He's been said, he reckons Ryan just called him. He said, yep, that one you get both of them. You'll explode both of them. So, big bowl here by Nick
yeah, he's
Gosley.
got the weight. What's he done?
Oh, gee whiz, just a tad
Cracked it
wide.
in, I think.
Yeah, so that's a win there for the Bagara boys. Well, look at their shaking hands.
So.
So,
I believe so. Nick Carl's taking his hat off.
yep.
And he's given Nick...
Greenkeeper's going to roll the greens. Going to roll the greens.
What a hard-working man this bloke is.
Mate, not only does he...
He's been in behind the bar for the last 3 hours.
Yep. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back after the break. We just got to take the cameras and move some cords off the green for the greenkeeper. Hope you enjoyed the telecast. We'll be back plenty of time for the start of the next game.
See you later.
See you then. Thank you very much.